Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It's Half a Jojo here with another What Are You Day as a Fat Person video. You lot have brought me up to 600 subscribers recently. We've breezed past 500. I really appreciate it. It's wild that I've nearly grown 200 subs in like a week. That's insane for me. I've been doing YouTube shorts and stuff like that for a while, and it has taken me probably about a year to get 400 subs, but now we've breezed past that, so I really appreciate it. So I'm not going to delay any longer. Let's get right into this one. So we've got one here of a what I eat in a day as a fat girl video. A lot of these seem to be girls. I ain't seen no guys on here yet. I'm going to try and find one with a guy at some point. But anyway, let's get started.
What I eat in a day as a fat girl.
Damn, breakfast? A donut for breakfast is kind of diabolical. I'm not going to lie to you. A donut for breakfast is like... it is not a good start, and there's like a whole kind of like 250ml cup of milk or whatever. Like, nah, I don't know what it is, but I swear I've seen in like one of the previous videos of someone else who had like a donut for breakfast with like milk as well. I don't know, it's not a good start to the day.
Oh my god.
And another one, a bite. Oh, okay, but still, that's insane. Maple and bacon donut. I don't know. That either sounds really good or really bad. It seems more of like a savory donut, so I would not dip bacon into milk personally. But that might just be me. But I don't know about that one. It doesn't sound like a piece of me. Damn, that's insane. Iced milk. Yeah, I know. Lunch. You see, that's good. That is really good, but it's like you've already kind of had over 1,000 calories just in one donut, so there's almost no point being like, oh, I'm gonna have a really unhealthy breakfast and then, oh, I'm gonna have a really healthy lunch, so it cancels it out or whatever. But it doesn't. You know, at the end of the day, calories are calories. Even if you ate this, which is very good, you still had quite a lot of calories already. So you're probably going to be over, depending on what the rest of your day looks like. Because if you had a donut and then this, and that was it for like the rest of the day, which I don't recommend, by the way. I recommend eating at least 3 full meals a day, really big meals. Within your calorie range, whether it be maintenance or deficit or bulking or whatever. But yeah, even if you just eat these 2 things, you could still be over depending on how many calories each donut is, and etc. But nah, or you could just be about right, or you could be maintaining if you just ate these 2 things. But again, don't recommend. Yeah. Peanut butter protein bar. See, what I would personally recommend is skipping out on the protein bar. Again, like I said, I don't really agree with snacking and stuff like that throughout the day personally. Get rid of the protein bar, and that kale salad thingy you had, just put some chicken or something in it. That would have been so much better. And it's probably about the same amount of calories for a protein bar as it is like a chicken breast. But you get way more protein in a chicken breast. But I'm not going to be like, oh, I'll never eat protein bars ever, because, you know, they're decent, they're alright. They don't taste the greatest, for sure, but, you know, they have protein in it. But I do find a lot of them do have more calories than it's worth for the protein, if you get what I mean. Like I said, like a chicken breast is probably the same amount of calories as a protein bar, but it has like 20-30 more grams of protein in it, and less sugar and shit as well. Is that is that sugar free? 0 sugar. Okay, that's good. Okay, I don't mind that so much though. Yeah, I know a lot of people aren't really a big fan of like sugar-free drinks and stuff like that, because they're like, oh, it has too much sodium or blah blah blah, and etc, certain chemicals or whatever. But I do think that if you're going to be drinking things like this, it's better that you have 0 sugar than sugar version. And definitely, you know, plain water is better. Everyone can agree with that. Everyone and mum knows that plain water is better. But, you know, if you are going to drink kind of juices or soda, fizzy drink type things, it's better if you have 0 sugars. 100%. Okay. Protein shake. I mean, it's good to get a protein shake in. So what was in it? So protein shake. So that is 30 grams of protein, 160 calories. Not bad. I don't know really what that is. It says 0 sugar in it, so that's good. But I don't really know the calorie content on it. I might have to quickly look that one up. Okay, so I found like the Walmart listing here. So it has the nutrition here. So per serving's 20 calories, and a serving. How much is a serving? 7 grams, so like a quarter of a packet or some shit like that. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad then. So that protein shake here seems to be altogether probably about 180 calories, which is, you know, it's a little bit kind of high for a protein shake. Not gonna lie. Like, the ones I bought, I have ones that I bought from like Lidl or something. 30 grams of that is probably like 110 calories or something like that. It has a bit less protein per 30 grams scoop. For 30 grams scoop, it's like 20 grams of protein or something like that, which isn't too bad for 100 calories. But yeah, I mean, that's not awful. It's good. Okay. So yeah, definitely, I do think this has gone over like any sort of deficit or maintenance, to be honest. Like, everything in between wasn't awful. Don't get me wrong, not really the filling, satiating meals that I really would like people to be eating. However, like a protein shake, protein bar, that like salad thingy, not god awful, not absolutely god awful when it comes to the calorie count and things like that. But the breakfast, the donut, yeah, that's pretty bad. And obviously the large McDonald's fries, and they look big. They look really, really big. They look bigger than the ones we get over here anyway. That's like a double XL. That doesn't even exist over here. I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining things. Maybe they're the same size, but it's either way, it's not looking good. McDouble no bun. I mean, yeah, that's better than, like, calorie wise. That ain't god awful, but at the same time, I feel like it's a waste of money because you're probably spending the same amount of money to get just the patty without no bun. I don't know. It could be wrong, but I don't know if that's worth it for me. Looks like it's got the cheese on there though, so you still got the cheese at the bottom, the gherkins and stuff. Definitely a better choice than having it with the bun calorie wise, but I don't know. The fries kind of outdo any good you've done by not having the bun. You might as well have just gone for the bun at that point because but nah, I don't know. Lots of water, yeah. I always say drink more water and stuff like that. 100%. So yeah, that was the first video. Not amazing. There were some things in there which were lower calorie and not too bad, but however, I don't think protein shakes and protein bars making up most of your diet throughout the day is necessary. Like I said, that salad thing, you could have just thrown a bit of chicken in there. It would have been a lot more filling. You wouldn't have needed to have a protein bar as a snack because you'd be having more protein and stuff like that for your lunch, and you won't be hungry straight after. But yeah, it wasn't the greatest. Some things were kind of awful, to be honest, like the donut and the fries and everything like that. The things in between were not absolutely egregious god awful. They did seem lower calorie options. They did seem a bit healthier than just eating donuts and all that shit throughout the day. But however, eating, you know, a salad or whatever isn't going to outdo all the donuts and big glass of milk you had in the morning and the kind of McDonald's you had in the evening. But yeah, some good, some bad. I don't know if I can say some good, because having a protein bar and a protein shake instead of just eating some chicken or yogurt or some shit probably isn't as ideal. But it's better that you're getting your protein in than not getting any protein at all. But yeah, anyway, that was that one. I'm gonna get on to the next one. Right, we've got another one up here. What I eat in a day as a happy fat person. Well, I'm glad you're happy, but I would argue that you'd be a lot happier if you were healthier, body fat range and stuff like that. 100%. I've said this over and over again. Being fat is not fun, like, at all. It's kind of a bit miserable. 100%. And I know I've said this multiple times, a lot of people look at you when you've lost weight, when you try and give them advice. They're like, oh, you're so fucking annoying. Or you're trying to give advice. You're like one of those obnoxious people who have lost weight and then telling people what to do. It's like, yeah, because I've been there. People who are ex-alcoholics telling people, yeah, you probably shouldn't get addicted to drinking alcohol. It's like, yeah, I've been there. It's horrible. It's not great. So don't do it. But yeah, anyway, I could ramble about that for ages. Oh, let's get right into this. Let's see. You know, you never know. There might be some good choices in there. I'm hopeful. I'm staying hopeful.
What I eat in a day as a happy fat person who eats whatever they want.
Okay. See what we're starting off with.
Scrambled eggs on.
Okay, that's actually really good. That's a good breakfast right there. The bread is probably the highest calorie thing on there, 100%. I pretty much have this, but I only have one slice of toast. I usually have brown bread as well because it's slightly less calories. You know, each slice of like a standard loaf of bread is probably like 110 to 120 calories per slice. Brown bread that I get is probably like 88 calories, bit less. But that's not awful at all. There's some fruit there as well. A good amount of carbs, good amount of protein. Not too bad, really good. And a bit of sriracha makes it taste better. What I usually do is I put some sriracha and a bit of ketchup. It goes really nice together. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's great, honestly. Nah, but that's good. That's a good start so far. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Sourdough toast with sriracha and strawberries.
Oh, sourdough typically can be a bit higher as well, I think.
Meds, don't forget yours.
Yes, indeed.
A huge salad. It was.
Oh, that's good. Is that chicken in there? So chicken looks like maybe some rice in there. Is that rice? I can't actually really tell what that is. I think it might be a little bit of rice. No, that could be good. But however, I've said before, when people think salad, they immediately think healthy or like lower calorie, but it's not necessarily true. A lot of salads you buy have a shit ton of sauce and stuff on it, which makes it even higher calorie than just like a standard chicken and rice meal. But that's not bad at all. Depending on what kind of sauce is on it, if it's a lower calorie sauce and if there's not too much on it, it could be pretty decent. It could be quite low calorie and really quite filling. So that so far, not awful. So far we're doing alright. Okay.
So good.
That is good. I'll eat that. Yeah, this is pretty decent, to be fair.
Doritos.
Okay, again, like I said, probably shouldn't be snacking, especially on things like this, because they're really high calorie, and to be honest, it's just not worth it. I think if you are going to snack, I'll just eat an apple or something, I don't know. Even then.
Tried out this matcha I got.
And there's ice cream as well. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's falling apart a little bit here. You know, you had your potato chips / crisps, and now you've got ice cream. It's a smaller tub of ice cream, I will say, but that's still probably a good 200 calories, to be honest. Or something. But, you know, so far, hasn't been as egregious as some of the previous ones we covered on this series so far.
For my birthday. A slice of my son's birthday cake.
You know, I will say, even though, you know, cake isn't really the greatest thing to be eating and stuff like that, or well, regularly anyway. Like I said, everything in moderation. I'm not one of those people who condemn eating anything remotely unhealthy or whatever the hell. Just not all the time. 100%. I don't care if you eat cake, don't care if you eat potato chips, crisps, or whatever, as long as it's not all the time and you keep it reasonable, you know. That's all I can say. At least that's a smaller slice of cake right there. That's not a huge, big slice. So it's a little bit better. But however, you know, the ice cream, the crisps, and the cake, that's probably higher than both the salad and the eggs in the morning that you've already had, you know. I don't know.
Nokki with red.
Okay, that's not bad. You got to be careful with pestos though, because obviously a lot of pesto, I think even red pesto, is made with like nuts and shit like that. I think red pesto might be made more from tomatoes, like sun-dried tomatoes, which are usually covered in oil. So that can rack up the calories quite high, and obviously gnocchi, potato, depending on how much of it you have, it can be quite high. But that salad looks pretty good. Looks like there's some balsamic vinegar or something on there. This isn't a god-awful meal. I would suggest, personally, the only thing I would say is maybe adding a bit of protein in it. Cut down on the amount of gnocchi you have, just a little bit, and put like some beef or something in there, or some chicken, or whatever kind of protein source you want. But definitely bulking up on protein, having more salad, having more protein, and a bit less carbs is 100% the best way to lose weight. 100%. For me personally, that's what I found.
Pesto and salad. Love you.
That's not too
Bye.
bad. To be completely honest, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't absolutely egregious. That wasn't god awful. It was definitely better than the previous one in some ways. Obviously there was still like cake, crisps, ice cream and stuff like that in it, and you know, the red pesto, even though it's good, and the gnocchi and everything like that, gnocchi, depending on how much you had, can rack up the calories quite high. And red pesto as well, if you don't get like the reduced fat one, it can be really quite high calorie. But other than that, the breakfast was good, the salad was pretty good. But again, you got to be careful with salads, how much sauce and stuff you got in it, blah blah blah. It was just mainly the crisps, the cake, and the ice cream, which was the biggest problems in that video. But even then, there were smaller ones. The ice cream was quite small, and the cake portion was quite small, so it's better than having a big tub of ice cream and a big fat fucking slice of cake and whatever. But there were definitely some room for improvement there. But it wasn't the worst one we've seen so far. It was probably one of the better ones we've seen so far. 100%. But I know they said, oh, you know, as a fat person who eats whatever they want, basically meaning I'm not trying to lose weight. But like I say, guys, everyone should be focusing on trying to live a healthy lifestyle, at least at a reasonable weight. I'm not asking you to be an athlete or anything like that. I'm not asking you to be ridiculously lean, show-ready bodybuilder or a fucking bike racer or anything, but just being that reasonable, healthy size, a good body fat percentage that's healthy. That's all we should be striving for, really, because we want to be around longer for the people we care about, etc., and for ourselves as well. But anyway, not god awful. Might squeeze another one in here, see if there's any more that catch my attention. Okay, got another one, what I eat today as a fat girl video. Again, I've been struggling finding any ones with guys. I've scrolled down, I've searched, I haven't found anything. You know, I've just been kind of trying to look for different ones at the moment, but I haven't really seen any. I've only really seen as a fat girl. I haven't seen what I eat today as a fat guy, but I don't know, maybe there's one out there. If you find one, please let me know, because I would like to see it. You know, just add a bit of variety in there, you know, just so it doesn't seem like I'm only picking on the girls and stuff like that. I'm not. It's just the only thing that's out there. But anyway, let's get into this one, yeah.
Everything I eat in a day as a fat. So we woke up around 2 p.m. and for breakfast we had croissant and chai.
Croissant.
And while my dad was making dinner, I snacked.
So two croissant. I think that was two. Let's have another little looky again. Let's have a VAR
around 2
check.
p.m. So we woke up
Yeah,
around
two croissant. Yeah, butter croissant can be really quite high, and having two of them is probably not the greatest day to start off your day. 100%. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure even the French don't even eat this in the morning. You know, they probably eat reasonable, healthy meals. Things though, not a lot of French people are very fat. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Anyway, having two of them is probably a bit much in terms of calories. A good croissant, sometimes they can run you up 300 calories per like butter croissant. I've seen it, you know. As a fat guy, if you know about Little Bakery, I used to do that all the time back in the day. I'm not gonna lie, some goated shit in there. I see a lot of like different croissant varieties. You got like hazelnut, you got your almond, you got butter one. I'm pretty sure the butter one is like the highest calorie one somehow. I don't know, I could be wrong, but for what I remember, I don't know. But anyway, waffling. So croissant and some tea.
And while my dad was making dinner, I snacked on a baby bell. For dinner, my dad made.
For dinner? So did you only have the croissant and then the baby bell like throughout the whole day? Did you not have any lunch or anything like that? Or I don't know. This comment here says that was not one baby bell. Yeah, I think that was two. And also they're not the lower calorie ones, so they're not as good for you, okay? You know? Eat low calorie. I mean, you should be making the choice to eat lower calorie options like leaner meats, 50% cheese and stuff like that. I know they don't taste as good. I ain't gonna lie to you, I know they don't taste as good. But I would argue some lean meats still taste really good if you cook it right with some nice seasoning and stuff like that. It doesn't need a shit ton of fat to be really nice. But if you're just eating it plain, obviously it's not going to taste as good. A really fatty bit of like beef or something is going to taste a lot better if you eat it plain than a lean bit of beef. But if you add some seasoning to it, they taste basically the same, just less oily. But who the fuck's eating meat plain? Like, come on, put a bit of seasoning in there. Come on, put a bit of spice in that bitch. Put a bit of sauce on it. Come on now. But anyway, let's see what we're having for dinner.
Made biryani, and you guys, this was so good. I love biryani, and he made it so well.
So it looks like quite a big bowl of biryani. I think there might be like chicken or something in there. I know typically a lot of like Indian dishes don't have meat in them traditionally. A lot of them are kind of vegetarian, so there's typically a whole lot more rice and vegetables and stuff like that. It does look like there's a lot of rice in there, but I think that might be a bit of chicken or something in there too. I would cut down on the amount of rice you're having personally. I know it's good. I know biryani is basically just a rice dish, but if you're having chicken in it as well, that is going to rack up a lot of calories. But if you're just having the biryani with no chicken, you could probably afford a little bit more rice, but I would personally go a bit less rice with some more chicken. But yeah, that is a large portion, and it looks like there might have been some sort of
Biryani.
like yogurt dip or something on it. Yeah,
Love.
maybe some like I don't know if it's just normal yogurt or like a mint and yogurt dip, but they can really, again, rack it up. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my favorite meals. I love biryani, and I love like the yogurt dip that you put on top of it as well. But this is really high calorie. It's a really big portion as well.
Biryani, and he made it so well. We were about to sleep, but then I had a craving for a sleep.
I've never had crumble cookie because I don't think we have it over here. I know a lot of people love it, but Jesus Christ, a lot of those cookies absolutely run you back probably like 3 days worth of calories in just one of them. Seriously, they are egregious when it comes to the amount of calories that are inside them. I've seen people eat them, I've seen people talk about them and how sugary and shit they are. Oof. Damn. You know, if you just have one, let's see. So which
Out
one?
to sleep, but then I had a craving
one
for
you
a
having?
sweet treat, so we went and got some crumble. Let me know if I should post a taste test. Bye bye.
So you basically ate half of all of them by the looks of it. Yeah, so basically she ate half of all of them, apart from that one in the middle there. Yeah, that is kind of insane. That is kind of insane, not gonna lie. I'm gonna have a look at some of these comments here. So waking up at 2 a.m. for Biryani as well. Yeah, I'm a bit confused about the timings here as well. So, hold on, let me go back and see what time she woke up at. I didn't clock that. She woke up at 2 p.m. What time is she going to sleep at, man? That's kind of wild. Yeah, I mean, waking up at 2 p.m. is kind of wild, not gonna lie. I don't know, maybe she works evening shifts or something. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend to know this person, so I don't know. But waking up at 2 p.m. is kind of wild if you're not working late shifts. All right, let's have a look at more comments. I just like going through some of these comments sometimes because, not gonna lie, some of them are a bit funny. Some of them can be funny, like this one here. Snack on Ozempic. Yeah, definitely. That's just a little light snack, guys. It's nothing too bad. Just a light snack. This is exactly how much I eat, and I weigh 54 kilograms. Now, I don't know whether that's a man or a woman, but if you're a guy and you weigh 54 kilograms, first of all, you're definitely not eating that. You're probably not eating enough. And if you're a woman who's 54 kilograms, you're definitely not eating that because you'd weigh more. Yeah. I don't think that's how it works. I think someone's telling a porky pie, someone's lying. That's it. Yeah, like I said, it's just a light snack. Some of these are obviously rage bait, but I don't know. If she was a skinny girl and she changed the caption to "What I eat in a day as a skinny girl," I know for a fact nobody would be hating at all and they'd be giving compliments. That's not entirely wrong, to be fair. I think that is probably a right comment. But the thing is, if someone who's healthier eats a big portion like that, you know they're not doing it every day because of the way they look. If someone posted a video, they were an average weight, and they ate a big bowl of rice, you know, people would look at them and be like, okay, so they're not fucking eating that every day. I can tell you're not eating that every day because you're not overweight. Let's be honest. Let's be for real, okay? Let's be honest. If a really skinny person or a really average sized person posted a video saying, oh, I eat fucking 2 boxes of crumble cookie a day or whatever, you'd be a bit like, no, you're not. Look at the size of you. If you were eating 2 boxes of crumble cookie a day, you'd be the size of a van. Let's be honest. But hey, I was like this, and I'm much happier now, skinnier. That's good. That's good. But do you know what though? I'm gonna go into like a little bit of like a side rant temporarily about this. Like, a lot of people automatically think weight loss equals skinny, being healthy equals skinny, skinny. You do not need to be fucking skinny to be healthy. Losing weight or not being fat doesn't automatically make you skinny. For example, I'm not trying to be skinny. I want to be kind of athletic. I want to have muscles and shit. You know, I'm working on it. You know, I'm trying to get a bit bigger. Like, you know, fucking. I'm not trying to be skinny. But everyone who I've talked to, like family members and stuff like that, they're like, oh, you're getting skinny. And I'm like, no, I'm fucking not, because it's not what I'm trying to do. Not everyone who's trying to lose weight is trying to be skinny. It's just about being healthy. It's just about being a good size. Or some people want to be athletic, or some people want to be muscular. Some people want to just be lean. Being lean does not equal being skinny. And being skinny does not equals, well, being skinny does equal being lean, obviously, but not, it doesn't apply the other way around. just because you're lean, it doesn't mean you're skinny, because you can still have a lot of muscle mass and shit on you, okay? I'm just trying to be athletic. So, whilst I'm glad for that comment there, I'm glad that they are healthier and happier and stuff like that. But I want everyone to know that being healthy does not automatically mean skinny. Just not being fat doesn't make you skinny. It just makes you not fat, you know. It's just how it works. Like, it does kind of annoy me a little bit when people say that. Oh, you say skinny? No, I'm fucking not. I still have a belly on me. I'm not fucking skinny, you know. Like, that's not how it works. I'm just not fat anymore. Oh, I am a little bit. I've still got like a little bit of chub, a little bit of belly fat left to get rid of, but you know, it does annoy me a little bit. It does annoy me. I just had to rant about it. But you know what? I think that's everything I've got for this one today. There was some not very great ones in there. The second one we watched, the middle one, wasn't god awful. There was some good choices in there. It was a good breakfast, a good lunch, but however, there was some snacks in there that weren't so great. And the dinner was not bad. It didn't have much protein in there, and it had a lot of carbs, stuff like that, and some pesto as well, specifically red pesto, and maybe not necessarily the reduced fat red pesto, which can be really quite high and quite oily. So that was the good one. The rest of them weren't really good at all, especially the last one. The last one was just mainly carbs. There wasn't much protein in there at all. There might have been a little bit of chicken in the biryani by the looks of it. Maybe, I could be wrong, but there wasn't much protein at all. Just all sugar and carbs, and fat as well, which is not a good way to lose weight or anything like that, or not even just about losing weight, maintaining weight. But yeah, really appreciate everyone for watching. It's been absolutely insane how much love people are giving me in the comments, and how many people are subscribing, liking, and everything like that. I really appreciate it. We're at 600. I'm trying to get to 1,000. You know, I'm going to give myself to the end of the year to hopefully reach 1,000, but if it keeps going at the rate it's going now, we could reach 1,000 in like a month, to be honest. Like, we're doing really good, and it's all thanks to everyone watching and everyone interacting and everything like that. So please like, comment, share. If you've watched all the way through, put in like a croissant emoji. Fuck it, put in some croissants. Put some croissants in the chat. Yeah, genuinely really appreciate it, everyone, and I'll see you later. Take care, and make sure that you have a nice filling meal today. You deserve it, 100%. Right, see you later.